this? Oh, this is Vince.
No chance, so that's what you got.
Are we actually recording now?
We are recording.
And you want to intro with this?
Oh, puppets. Adam, welcome back.
I'll tell you, thank you very much. I'll tell you, he has got no chance in hell.
What has?
James Dean.
James Dean.
James
You're
Dean.
fired.
He has been fired. That's why he's not here. He is fired. James Dean, you're fired.
You've got to do it in the traditional.
I can't do that, man.
You're fired.
I haven't got like the huskiness that Vince has. You know, he's got that little like that. It's that thing with his throat. You know, it sounds like he's like choking on an apple when he screams.
It's all in the facial expression, I think.
Yeah.
He gets really like visceral.
What was that? There was that. Do you remember there was that compilation of videos that you could get on social media or whatever? Somebody made it, and there was loads of different Vince, you're fired moments.
Yeah, and over the years it got more and more like ridiculous and intense.
The first one was like clear as day. It was like you're fired, and then after that it just started to become like you're fired. It wasn't even English at the end.
He's not even fired at that point. It's just
from the words you're fired. Oh,
do you know who's not fired?
No,
the audience, because this is Cage and Canvas episode number 22.
22. But don't worry, AJ, I'm back. Don't worry, boys. For all of our fans,
he's waving.
I'm back.
Glad to have you back.
Back. You know, it's like this is like my return promo. You know, I should have never gone. But J-Dog, unfortunately, is not with us today. He wanted to be here very, very badly.
Bit under the weather,
but he's not very well. So we wish him well.
Well, to be fair, if anybody's been listening for the last couple of weeks, he's been coughing like a mother.
He has. Yeah. Did you bleep that out? Or was that you?
No,
that was a very smart wordage. But yeah, no, he's been fighting a health battle for the past couple of weeks, but today it defeated him. So hopefully...
He is still alive.
Yeah, he is still alive, but hopefully he will kick out for next week. You know,
okay.
Not kick out, submit. But
kick out from the 3 count.
I hope you get better, J-Dog. Hope you get better. But yeah, I'm...
how was holiday?
I can't believe you said I don't have a tan.
You're not very tan.
I've got a little bit of a tan, man.
To be fair, actually, you're quite light. So yeah, maybe I'm a light boy. I'm just selling it. Where are the tan lines? Have you got a trucker tan? Have you got like a speedo tan?
Yeah, I've got a tan. My face downwards is tan, and then my entire crown on top of my bald head is white.
Oh right, okay.
So I look like a drumstick.
Had to protect the baldy, yeah.
Mate, you know what a bald head's like? It's like when it's exposed to the sun, it's like a baby's ass. It's like,
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know, like it hasn't seen the sun in however many years.
I've had a burnt bald head as well. Yeah,
it's rough, man.
It's not great, man.
Rough, mate. Especially when it starts peeling.
Yeah, when you get in the shower and it's like powering off there.
It's not good.
Rough.
Any bald men, please make sure you cream and look after your heads.
You haven't got the hillbilly style short sleeve, the trucker
fuck
tan.
that. No, mate. I'm like double sure that if I'm in the sun, I'm exposing everything, so I don't get any lines or patterns. That's not a good look, man.
The thong comes out,
mate. When we're
the ass cheeks are out,
mate. When we are in Vegas for WrestleMania 41 in 2 months' time,
woo!
Yeah, mate, I can't wait. It's gonna be good, man. But mate, the temperature over in Vegas is gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty hot, that time of year, man.
Well, the only time that you've been back since then, but obviously the first time when we both went, it was same time of year because we were there for Mania 31.
That's mad, yeah, of course, because we did Vegas first and then we drove to San Jose.
Yeah.
That's mad.
That was the road trip.
So yeah, it was about the same kind of time. So what was the temperature like then? Was it hot?
It was hot. I remember there was one point where we were downtown in LA.
Yeah.
And I had packed all my stuff in a suitcase because obviously we had 3 different hotels when we were there. So
yes.
I remember I packed up all my stuff, and for some reason that morning I got up and I put on jeans, like black jeans. And
that's because you were extremely hungover, AJ. It was after your birthday.
Yeah, there was a video where you've got of me like putting the luggage in the back of the car, and I'm walking over, and I literally just look so pissed off. And I just remember because I just thinking to myself, I'm so hot, and I've got fucking jeans on.
Mate, I've got to find all of the footage from that trip again, and we've got to watch it again before we go.
Yeah, you probably do have all the footage of it. I've got some of it as well. I actually went back through the hard drives. We need to see what we can find.
I must have it. I must have it somewhere because we shot everything.
Yeah,
we literally everything from Vegas all the way to LA. That was unbelievable. But that was literally 10 years ago. And then 10 years, don't you think that's mad? And now 10 years later, we're going back.
That is crazy. Yeah.
That wasn't even planned, by the way. There was no plan in that. It's just the way it's kind of happened.
The way it all fell. Yeah,
Insane. Well, mate, I can't wait for that, man.
Crazy.
I'm sure we'll have some good discussions on that before we get there. Average temperature, by the way, is 27 degrees in Vegas.
27
in April. And we're going mid-April.
That's not bad, actually.
Mate,
that's bearable for me.
That's good, but you got to think that's also desert 27. So that's going to feel that's probably going to feel warm. Well, it definitely will, warmer than it will do here.
Yeah.
The 27 in Vegas is going to feel humid.
It's weird because Vegas is a strange one because it's not like New York where everything is super high but it's packed in really tight.
Yeah.
Obviously you do have big buildings there and stuff, like you got crazy hotels or whatever, but everything's quite wide. It's quite spaced out, like even all the streets and stuff. So you do still get a little bit of a breeze. So maybe it might not be too bad. I'm hoping that it'll be okay.
I think it'll be good, man.
I don't remember it feeling that ridiculously hot there. I felt it was hotter when we got to like LA, California region.
We need to go back and see what we were wearing at the time. Where we were walking around in shorts and t-shirt.
I think I had a couple, but who knows?
We'll see what happens, man. But yeah,
get the knees out.
I love the fact we feel comfortable talking about this when J-Dog's not on the episode. Because he unfortunately can't make it. But yeah, fair play to him.
He needs to get a last minute steal of a ticket.
Yeah, mate, we'll see what we can do. Maybe
be up in the nosebleeds.
We'll see. It depends how much viewership Cajun Canvas gets. If we can get a sponsor before then maybe we can afford to get him one.
TKO, give us a sponsor.
Mate, TKO are absolutely rinsing everybody's pockets these days with their ticket prices, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I'm going to Raw for the O2 show in London on the 31st of March. But I was going to do both. I was going to do SmackDown and Raw.
The moment you sent me the price for the combined ticket,
madness. Chance. There's been loads of complaints about that online, hasn't there? Ticket prices, like they are killing people, man. They're going to outprice themselves.
It's hard because the thing is, there's going to be some people who will pay it, but there's also going to be some people who won't pay it, and then they won't actually have a sold out show. They might say that it's sold out, but you're still going to have like touters, and you're still going to have some people who've like maybe returned tickets or whatever. I don't know. I haven't had a look. Are there any tickets still floating around? There might be.
For which shows?
For either.
Yeah, there has to be. There always is. All the floor tickets will be gone, but then like in the hundreds, all the the nosebleeds, there'll probably be some knocking about.
Yeah,
there always is, man.
I'll be interested because that's the thing. It's a double-edged sword, really. It's like, do you drop the price and just sell it out just so you can also say sold out? But do you also try to maximize the profit of the company? I understand it's a business at the end of the day, but yeah.
But you don't want to piss the fans off so much you just don't end up selling out arenas. Same thing as Fight Night London coming up.
Yeah, people. Obviously, you weren't here for the breaking news last week, but we'll talk about that anyway. But I saw a comment on talking about the gate prices and stuff like that for WWE and UFC.
Yeah.
And then I clicked on one of the comments. Top comment was basically, "Oh, people are paying this much to go and see Sean Brady."
Right. Okay.
So you have some fans who are.
But Leon Edwards is obviously he's the headliner for that.
He's the draw, yeah. And don't get me wrong, Sean Brady is he's a top 5 guy, so he deserves to be in the picture with Leon. But you have people want to see a certain caliber of fight for a certain price.
Damn right. So it's like the equivalent of like going to a pay-per-view and you're seeing like CM Punk against Andrade.
Yeah, basically. Exactly.
It's like, I want to see CM Punk against John Cena.
Yeah.
It's like that.
You want the bells and whistles if you're paying for it.
Damn right. So what's going down in UFC anyway, man? So listen, mate, I've been a little bit. Obviously, I've been flying. I was in Lanzarote all week last week. I haven't seen much. I've kept up with some some headlines, and I've been seeing what's been happening in the world, but I haven't watched any action, which is sad because I know there was a fight night at the weekend. Weekend before, obviously, there's been a few shake-ups.
Catch any of that? No,
I didn't.
Okay, cool.
I didn't. But give me a breakdown. Give me some news. Let's discuss, man.
So that was the Henry Cejudo Song Yadong fight card.
Yep.
And just it wasn't bad actually. I enjoyed it. I had to catch a lot of it between yesterday and Monday.
Right.
And well, obviously I saw a lot of the news because there was controversy obviously surrounding the main event.
Yeah.
But as far as the prelims, everyone was loving the prelims. Prelims was action packed.
Right.
Finishes all across the board. 7 fights, 7 finishes.
Wow.
So yeah, that was the problem. It started off
too good.
It started off with such steam, and then I think the problem is the way that the main event ended.
Yep.
Kind of, took a bit of a turn. To be fair, I didn't see too many fans complaining about it. Dana was complaining about it more than anybody.
Of course he was.
But also, people were complaining because of how the result happened. So, not too sure if you saw this, right?
Technical decision. So, I'm just looking at the prelims. So, yeah, submission, TKO, KO, TKO, KO, KO.
Yeah. We're all talking a lot of round ones.
Round
as well.
1, 2, 2, round 1, 2, round 1, round 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was intense.
I mean, how did you follow that?
It was intense. Yeah, it was hard to hold up.
That's a card for me.
Yeah,
I like my knockouts and submissions. I don't like decisions.
Mate, there was some good ones. There was some good ones there. I'm trying to think of the main one that stood out. Read them to me, just.
So the first one, because Bakauskas defeated.
Bakauskas.
These are hard. Bakauskas and KO round 1. Middleweight Ruziboev against Mokoniko, TKO round 2.
Yeah.
Catchweight Vanderford defeated Nikolai Verentekinik kickoff. Wow. Wow. Verentenikov via TKO round 2.
Man. We could just make this an episode.
It's just mad. These names are mad. Right, here we go. Ricky Simon against Javid Basharat.
Ricky Simon, a lot of people were talking about that fight. Yeah. He looked good, and
Abdul Malik and Klein.
The guy who he was fighting actually was a UK rep. He's actually in terms of his origin, he's from Afghanistan, but he trains out of the UK. Basharat, yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, then Abdul Malik against Klein, Costa Fili via submission.
Yeah, that was good. That
round
was
1.
Crazy. That was actually the way that advanced. It was just quick, and then you had your guy who was from Turkey. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah, well, in the mains of the prelims.
Prelims, yeah.
Kutalaba
versus Aslan. Yeah, that was a good fight as well. To be fair, and Aslan was good. Like when I've seen him in the last couple fights, because he's had 2 fights in the UFC so far. He had two finishes.
Right.
So I think they were kind of banking good things on him. But Kutalaba is he's a master of chaos, man. So
sounds like it was.
But
good.
close off the prelims and. The rest of the card just kind of was good. It was good. That's what I can say about it.
So 5 fights, 3 by the looks of it, 4 by decision.
Yeah,
and then 1 TKO. For featherweight.
But the thing is, they weren't bad fights. I'll say that they weren't bad fights. I just think that the prelims, obviously, that level of action, they thought it was going to be maintained. So anyway, we'll just talk about the main event. So.
Song Yadong against Henry Cejudo, bantamweight. Cejudo. What was the rankings of these dudes?
Cejudo. Oh, I don't even know what Cejudo is now. Cejudo's on a back skid.
Let's have a look.
Go on and bring it up. I did have the rankings, but my tablet's just locked. So
it was a good fight, though. Yeah, when I'm looking for this. I suppose the rankings will be updated now, obviously, after the results.
Yes, they will be.
It's the only thing, when you go onto I know we're talking about website now, but when you go onto the UFC website and you click on a card.
Yeah. So Song Yadong is, he's now 6th. He was 8th.
Okay.
And Henry is 9th and was 7th.
Okay, fine.
And so long and short of it, what ended up happening was Henry gets poked in the eye.
Right.
Not purposefully, obviously.
Okay.
So there was no malice in it, but he gets jammed in the eye. He takes the time for the eye poke, takes the full time,
right? And
basically, he's just sort of like he doesn't want to end the fight, and this is in round 3, right?
Right.
So what they ended up doing is it rolls the ref sort of just Jason Herzog lets it roll into the 4th round. So afterwards, they basically like, okay, that's the end of the round anyway.
Right.
And then straight away,
so the doctor had been in.
Round 4 starts. Yes, time.
Right.
Doctor comes in.
Right. So they're in their corners. Doctor comes in round.
And then
round
obviously they assess the damage. And Henry basically, in so many words, he can't see.
Right.
So the fight gets waved off.
Okay.
And then what ends up happening at that point is, because it's gone past round 3, they look at the rounds that they have scored for that point, up until that point, and then they score the rounds, and then they give the win to Song Yadong.
Oh.
Yeah. And if Henry would have basically said in round 3, so if he would have done that 30 seconds before, and he was still in the round and basically said that, it would have been a no contest.
So that's a bit controversial.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've read online there's been some controversial about people believing that Henry faked the eye injury.
People are saying this, but Henry showed the injury. It basically wasn't on his I don't know what to say, the cornea, maybe the main part of his eye, but it was here on the side where the white is, and you can actually kind of see there is a bit of like a crater in the side of his eye on the inside, where this finger is dragged and scratched his eye, and his eye is like badly red. You can't fuck with eye injuries, man. You can't. And I think he went and got a doctor's assessment and all that sort of stuff. And I saw Dana kind of playing it down, where he was just sort of like, we've had guys who've been poked in the eye before, and like, they've gone on and they still fought. And it's just like, it's not all eye pokes are the same way not every kick in the nuts is the same. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Depends on impact, depends obviously what part of the eye as well. Yeah, exactly. So do you think that holds any merit? The accusation? No, I don't think the accusation holds any merit. The other thing that's controversial as well. Go on. So this is another wrinkle, obviously, to the whole story. If Jason Herzog would have basically, because they had warnings for other fouls before leading up to that. Right? Okay. So at this point, when Jason Herzog saw the extent of the damage, he could have taken a point from Song Yadong. Right. And if that would have rolled into round 4, and then Henry would have said, I can't see, after Herzog had taken a point, the fight would have been a draw. It's full of controversy then, really, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing, it doesn't sound like there's anything that's definitive. And the problem is, obviously, Dana in typical Dana fashion was just sort of just like, I think because he was pissed off with Henry Cejudo, who I think Dana actually has a thing against Henry Cejudo. I'm not gonna lie. Dana has a thing against a lot of people, man. Yeah. He kind of does it. He doesn't even shy away from it. But if Henry Cejudo put on an unbelievable fight, then he wouldn't have anything against him, would he? Yeah. So he was basically just like, well, you saw the fight. Like, do you guys want to see the fight again? And everyone was just like, the fight wasn't bad. It just ended controversially. Yeah. And he was just like, we don't want to see that again. He's done with it. He's done with it. So I don't know. I think it was just bad management from Herzog's point, from the commission's point, from Dana's point. So they're going to rerun it? I don't think that they will. No. So it puts Henry in a weird position as well now, because I think Henry has 3 losses now, or 2 losses. Right. But that fight, he didn't really deserve that loss. You know what I mean? Okay. He should have at least got a draw or a no contest. Sounds like it. Mate, it needs to be again. Like, I think all of these. I was saying this. What was it? 2-3 weeks ago about judges at the moment. Yeah. It's just there needs to be a better system, a much better system, especially in UFC right now. Yeah, like boxing, in my opinion, has a better judging system than UFC right now. Yeah, because the rules aren't so convoluted, I guess, because you have to take in so many other disciplines. You have to take into account wrestling. You have to all this stuff, grappling and submission attempts, and it's a lot. It does need a bit of an overhaul, but I don't think we'll see any of that for a couple of years, to be honest, if it ever happens. So was there anything else from note at the weekend? Fight night. Sounded like a great prelim card, just an average main card. It was an okay card. I'd watch it. I'd watch it again. Like, even after telling you, if I was you, then I'd just watch it. But yeah, like you say, maybe watch the prelims, especially because then you obviously get some good names to kind of look out for down the line. Mate, I'm loving the prelims right now, man. I mean, I was saying the other week there was an early prelim fight that I saw that was just fucking insane. And I'm looking forward to seeing that fighter again. I can't remember his name now. You watch it on Fight Pass?
No, I watch it on Discovery.
Oh, right.
I've got a subscription for Discovery, so I get all the UFC for free.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think that's the reason why, because on Virgin, I think early prelims don't come up.
Not at all.
No, I think they just start at prelims.
Well, some of us might have other ways of watching.
Yes, yes, some of us, yes.
We all discuss that. But there's a big pay-per-view coming up there, isn't it? UFC 313.
So did you see the breaking news?
Well, there's been a lot of breaking news. So that was really good.
Okay, so the breaking news.
Go on.
Dan Hooker versus
Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje.
Yes.
You saw that, right?
He's withdrawn because of a hand injury.
So his hand is broken.
Is that official?
It is official. He went on Sky News in New Zealand.
Okay.
And they done an interview with him, and he literally put his hands up. I'll show you the clip actually.
Go on.
His hand, like they look like they're from two different people.
Okay. I mean, I am gutted about that, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because,
that was like the people's main event.
Yeah, because I love watching Gaethje for a start, and obviously Dan Hooker is just as much of a nut job.
Yeah, two masters of violence who.
It could be like another Chandler Gaethje. Yeah.
Joining me in studio. Yeah,
just throwing some bombs down range.
I love the fact he's still smiling though.
How are we?
Hey, look, I was going to ask you the same question, mate.
He just seems so casual.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Be honest.
Oh!
One of these hands don't look like.
Oh my!
One of the paws.
So they're doing a close up on his hand,
What has
guys.
happened in training?
Jesus Christ!
Honestly, they look like they are from two completely different people.
So how did he do it? How did he actually do it?
So he says that he was having a spar, and the guy who he was sparring with dipped his head down, and his knuckle basically just cracked on top of his head and broke his hand.
Mate,
he went on his daughter's YouTube channel to break the news.
His daughter's YouTube channel. I bet you his daughter's subscribers just went through the roof.
She's like 3 or 4 years old. I don't even know where they were. But
oh wow, that's mad, mate.
They're just talking. He's like, yeah, Dad's injured his hand.
So what's that? How's that going to impact him then? Because I mean, he's going to be out for a while, man.
Yeah,
that's not something you can get over easily. A broken hand.
Yeah, he. There's not really been much said from the UFC, to be fair. This news only technically broke probably almost about 24 hours from now.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just reading something here. Arman Sarukian calling it karma.
Yes.
Karma doesn't miss. No sympathy from him whatsoever.
Did you see? Yeah, read him and read the Hooker's reply.
Karma doesn't miss. Big mouth, glass hands. Maybe just stick to talking instead of fighting. I haven't seen his reply. What's he said?
If you could click on the
read
tweet.
Replies. Let's have a look. I love the back and forth from fighters on this, man. This is like the promo section. It's like putting them both in the cage with microphones. I can't because I haven't got X. I can't see it.
Where's his reply? Keeping you guys on the edge of your seat.
Oh, James Dean is messaging us.
Oh,
in case you guys don't mention it, NXT Roadblock.
Oh, we'll get there.
Thanks, J-Dog. Just give us some time. Just give us some time. Flipping out, man. He's with us in spirit.
We could actually call him in, to be fair.
What, in his sick bed?
Yeah, he's messaging us, so you know.
That's true. Maybe he's not that sick after all, right?
Bloody hell, I can't find it. But anyway, yeah, him and Sarukian have had a bit of a back and forth on.
Yeah, they're rivals, man. They're known rivals, aren't they? So who's
something along the lines of basically he can't talk about anything about glass hands. He goes, oh, you're throwing stones in a glass house. He goes something about him being a late pullout, basically. So they've been throwing little jabs at each other.
He'll be back. So who's going to replace him, man? Who's going to fight Gaethje?
This is the debate at the moment.
I mean, who can step up? Because I mean, when you look at that division, I mean, you want an entertaining fight like that. You got to replace it with an entertaining fighter, man.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple people throwing their names in the hat. I think Gamrot has thrown his name in there. Moicano has thrown his name in there. The first person who threw their name out there was Rafael Fiziev, and they've had a fight, and it was quite close.
Right.
I had Justin winning.
Right.
But some people have Fiziev winning in the fight with Justin, and that was like a banger. That was like a fight of the night candidate, basically.
Right.
Fight of the year candidate. Sorry.
Okay.
When that happened.
So that's a possible.
That was on the same card as who the hell was it again? Leon and Usman 3. That was on the same card.
Leon Usman 3. I forgot they had 3 fights.
Yeah, that was in the O2.
In the O2.
Yeah.
So do you think he'll even replace anybody? Do you think maybe he'll just pull Gaethje from the card as well and just put a brand new fight in there?
If something isn't,
that has happened.
If something isn't announced by Saturday, or should I say early hours Sunday, because they'll do the press conference at that point. If something isn't announced by that point, then I think that fight will be yanked. And if it is pulled, then that card does suffer quite a bit, to be fair.
That's sad, man.
Because that is like the fight. It's still listed on the webpage right now. I'm looking at the 313 card.
Oh, yeah, it's hot off the press, isn't it?
Still on there.
Dana and Hunter will be doing some work in the war room to try and sort that out for sure.
Yeah.
But obviously the big fight is, mate, Alex Pereira again, isn't it? Alex Pereira against Ankalaev, man. This is the fight that everybody's been waiting. Well, when is 313? Next week? Next weekend?
It's the 9th.
The 9th. Yeah, it's not this weekend, next weekend.
Well, technically the 9th, the 8th, I think, technically on calendars. But yeah, 9th. Early hours 9th.
That's the big one.
So yeah, just a quick rundown. King Green versus Mauricio Rufy, Amanda Lemos and Yasmin Lucindo, Jalen Turner, Ignacio Bahamondes, and then it was supposed to be Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, which is Justin Gaethje maybe, and somebody, and then Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev.
That's the big fight, man. Mate, we've been talking about this fight for months.
We have, yeah.
This is the shot that Ankalaev has been waiting for.
Yeah. 100%.
Pereira is the Don who's going to give it to him.
I'm liking all the stuff that I'm here. That like it's been entertaining following all the stuff that's been happening online. So first thing was after 312. Daniel Cormier was basically saying, like, what the hell is Pereira doing? He's touring around, going around all over the world, going to all these different places. Why is he not in camp? I'm not sure if you've noticed this. I don't know if you follow anybody.
Yeah, he has been about,
Mate, he's been doing everything. There was somewhere where he was training and wrestling on the snow, which we'll get into. He was out there with, do you follow Moses?
I don't.
Moses the jeweler.
No.
Moses the jeweler. He's like a big time jeweler in New York.
Sounds like a character out of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh, yeah. Moses the jeweler.
Moses the jeweler.
Go over there and see Moses the jeweler, and then he lifts up the cabinet and there's like 2 shotguns underneath. Nah, but
that sounds like a Pereira's camp.
He's he's a big time jeweler in New York in the Diamond District, and Pereira's done stuff with him out before because he got like a chain.
Right.
He done this custom chain for him last time when he fought. It was fucking sick. But Pereira was just seen out with him, like giving money away to people in the streets and all this sort of crazy stuff.
He's just a Don.
And everyone's just like, what is he doing?
He does it, mate, because he can. Mate, this is a guy who at short notice comes in and fights people.
I don't even want to put it out. So,
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say if he takes Ankalaev lightly, like he's going to get banged.
Not. I don't think he's going to take Ankalaev lightly. He's going to get banged. I just think that he's got a test on his hands, and I don't think Ankalaev should be taken lightly. Ankalaev doesn't have that many losses on his record.
No, he doesn't. When was his last loss? When was so Ankalaev?
His only loss is to Paul Craig.
Paul, come on, Paul. All right, Paul.
Paul Craig. It happened in London.
And that must have been a long time ago.
Yeah, and Ankalaev was winning that fight. He threw him up in a triangle and he tapped out.
Ankalaev. But ultimately, he is the right contender.
Another reason why people are getting worried about this. Obviously, we shouldn't feed into all this too much, but Pereira was seen at the Drake concert in Australia, and everybody knows. So what the Drake curse.
Man, you can't dump this on Drake, man.
The Drake curse is a real thing, and people have been saying it for years.
Maybe he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe he's doing it to like, he's leaning into the Drake curse. He's like, listen, I'm Alex Pereira, man.
There's a rumor as well that he's the UFC 6 cover star, and there's also a curse associated with that as well.
Come on now.
Seriously,
people are reading in too deep to this, man.
There is.
Like, this is Alex Pereira we're talking about. This ain't just like any other fighter. This is Alex Pereira.
So Conor, he was one of the ones who was affected by the curse. He was on the curse on UFC 2. Ronda Rousey was on the cover with him. She also got faced by the curse. She got fucking absolutely head kicked straight after that, and that's when she was basically like came back and cried. And then obviously Izzy.
Yep.
Izzy was on there, and then he had his one fight where he lost the title, recaptured the title, and then obviously he's been on a losing streak since. So
I know
people take these curses very seriously.
Not Alex Pereira. He doesn't give a shit.
I'm hoping so,
mate. So who do you actually want to win this fight?
I want Pereira to win this fight.
You want Pereira to retain?
Of course I want Pereira to win.
I thought you were going to be an Ankalaev guy.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like a rightful challenger. Pereira's had his time and his run.
No. Well, to be honest, whoever wins, if they deserve it, then they deserve it. That's it. I don't really get a time. I don't have any say in who deserves what. But in terms of
the significance of the fight for the light heavyweight division is pretty strong though, because that is the fight to have, isn't it?
He's been waiting.
After Pereira beats Ankalaev, who's really next?
He's been waiting. Yeah.
He could probably retire after that.
What? Pereira.
I'd be like, do you know what, Pereira? Fair fucking play.
I think after that he wants to push for the Jones fight, which we've spoke about that at length.
That's a whole nother level.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm another reason why. So basically, when this all happened, right? Dana has like this kind of thing. Like he always wants to have like, the entertaining fights. Even people who are like winning on the Dana White Contender Series.
Yeah.
It'll be in the last 30 seconds of a fight, and then he wants to see people scrap. He wants to see people throw down. He's like said to people before, like, oh, you shouldn't have shot for that takedown in the last 30 seconds. That's what cost you.
Right.
So like he obviously shows a bias to obviously striking and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. That's the entertainment.
Magomed Ankalaev isn't like super grappling. Like he's not Islam, he's not Khabib or anything like that. But obviously he's a Russian guy who's very skilled in wrestling. So when Ankalaev had the offer for the fight, he said on Twitter, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to shoot for takedowns. I'm basically going to beat you at your own game pretty much. I'm going to stand and strike with you and I'm going to knock you out.
Right.
Is what Ankalaev was saying.
Yeah.
And then
making all the right noises.
Pereira posted a video of him wrestling in the snow the other day.
Right.
And then Ankalaev commented and he said, let's see how you do after 25 minutes.
Mate, it's like some Drago versus Rocky talk there, man. From Rocky 4.
If he dies.
He dies. So when Drago's like training in the snow and shit, lifting logs, taking trees out of the ground.
My favourite one is what the hell's his name? Yuri.
Oh, Yuri
training out in the woods.
He's a nut job, isn't
that's always my favourite one.
Yeah, well, let's see, man. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that influences the division's landscape anyway after the fight. But yeah. Big card, man. Anything else going down on the UFC landscape these days? Obviously, did you and JD talk about obviously the title strip? Well, not the title strip, the title forfeit from Topuria last week. I'm assuming you did.
Yes,
I think obviously you did. I listened to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Volkanovski and Lopez. Yeah, the Volk. Yeah, that's 3-1.
The Pimblett and the Chandler.
Paddy and Chandler, man. Yeah, mate. A lot of people in my office where I work are very excited about that particular fight. Everybody loves Paddy. I know.
Yeah.
Like, where did he even come from? Like, there's so many people.
Liverpool.
Liverpool, but like, I don't know why he's tipped to be like this new British star of fighting. Like, Tom Aspinall's here, man. Why are more people on Tom Aspinall's back? Why are everybody on Paddy Pimblett's train?
So,
don't get me wrong, I like Paddy Pimblett as a fighter.
Yeah.
But like, it just seems like he has got some serious British momentum behind him. He's got a big fan base here.
So a lot of the guys who have been fighting out of the UK and Ireland, they used to fight on Cage Warriors, which is a British promotion that basically has been doing MMA, and those guys have fed into MMA. So obviously Conor McGregor.
Yes.
He's from Cage Warriors.
Right, yeah. So he was the one who drew the eyeballs.
So yeah, I think he's like the people think there's been a couple other people who have come from there, and I can't really think right now.
Yeah,
forgive me, listeners, if you do know who you are, and you're shouting at the speakers. But I think mix between that and obviously Paddy's banter and his ability to sell.
Yeah,
people just seem to like him. And he's kind of unique as well. The way he has this whole thing with the weight fluctuating, the weird hair bouncing all over the place.
Yeah,
the guy calling people, he's like, "Oh, fucking sausage, fucking sausage."
Mate, that was an unbelievable attempt at that accent. Do that one more time.
Fucking sausage.
Fucking sausage. Can't wait. Mate, you can tell we're from near London.
Chicken in a can of Coke.
It's the
yeah.
Love them. Yeah, very good, AJ. Yeah, we'll see, man. Mate, but some great cards coming up though, man.
But yeah, I don't know if I want to see. I love Volk. I think Volk is the guy. He's
the man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know whether or not if this is going to be his second time to shine in the featherweight division, or if it's a new dawn for Diego Lopez.
Well, Lopez is the man who has been pushed to the moon a bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's had all the momentum. He was the one who jumped sporadically from the bottom 15 all the way up to the top 5 in the click of fingers. So yeah, we'll see, man. But it's going to be a good fight. Massive test for Lopez.
Yeah, he had... Diego's had a little bit of a spat. He's had a little thing online with somebody else. I can't even remember who the hell that was as well. I saw that today.
Well, Lopez.
Yeah.
He needs to be steady, man.
Yeah.
All these fighters just coming at each other.
So a lot kind of just floating around at the moment. I'm waiting for my guy, my fighter of the year, Lerone Murphy. He's got his fight lined up against Josh Emmett later on in the year.
Lerone Murphy. Yeah, that's your guy. To be fair, you've been pro Murphy for a while, to be fair.
Yeah, I was saying to JD.
He had a fight in January, didn't he?
Yeah, saying to JD, I chose him as my fighter of the year. If I would have had anybody else other than that, it probably would have been Protez, probably. Maybe out of Fighting Nerds.
What, not Duplessis, no?
No.
And I heard that Dana White has been hinting at a potential rematch between Vashvili and O'Malley.
Yeah. I think they're going to go down that route.
Yeah, sounds like that's incoming, doesn't it? Probably makes sense. Because O'Malley was injured, wasn't he, at the Sphere? He was saying it all came out in the end, and he didn't look himself. I wouldn't mind seeing that and just putting that chapter to bed one way or the other.
Yeah, he was. I don't mind that either, to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of. O'Malley's a popular guy. So's Marab, to be fair.
Yeah.
And they had like a good little bit of banter between them.
It's a rematch is warranted.
Yeah.
Down the line. Fun. But yeah, I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but
it's just sometimes like doing a fight that's been done not that long ago. Sometimes you need to space it out a little bit. You need to draw it out.
Yeah, I agree, man. Stretch it. Didn't I see? I suppose segueing a bit. So you sent me a little collab between Volk and Armand Duane, The Rock.
Yes, yeah. He had a Project Rock line.
Come on.
He's got a line with Project Rock.
Mate, that makes me so happy. Look at the smile on my face. Mate, Volkanovski is one of my favourite UFC fighters. And obviously, The Rock's just, he's
that's who I used to call you when I used to want to get you involved.
Volk.
I was like, come on, Adam, your twin is fighting tonight. You better get the fuck up.
I'll take the Volk, man. I think JD called me as well when I was wearing like an oversized like black tee one time.
I think when your beard was a little bit longer as well, and it was kind of like pointed a little bit. He's kind of like
the pointy beard.
Maybe, yeah, like.
Yeah, mate, I might look into getting it. Maybe I'll order a Volk Project Rock Under Armour t-shirt or something. I'm a fan of the line. Have they done trainers as well?
I'm not too sure, to be fair. I think in the video you just saw like a jogger set, a t-shirt. I think there might have been shoes involved in there as well.
Yeah, mate, I'm going to look into that, man. That's a good little line. Volkanovski, Project Rock, Project Volkanovski. Oh yeah, Project Rock Tax. Yeah. Featuring new commercial driver's seat collection. That's what they called it. Can't see exactly what it all is yet, to be fair.
I need to get you to come and walk out to this one day.
Go on.
Hang on.
This better be good.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely going to be good. This is going to be your theme tune when you do your walkout. Hey, banger!
I can see it. To be fair,
you know what this is?
Oh, this is the Volks entrance.
This is what he comes out to.
Yes, well done. Yes, I can see it now.
I can see you coming out to this. Cracking a cold brew of Foster's.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Anyway, don't mention it. Next episode, we start with this.
We need to start with this on the night of the card.
Yes, or maybe we'll do next week. We'll film me walking into the studio to this, sitting down at the mic and just getting ready.
We go from a land down under.
But speaking of The Rock, let's just talk about him now.
All right, come on. We're segueing into WWE territory now.
Let's move across. Obviously, we've got Elimination Chamber this weekend.
Oh yeah. So how much did you catch when you were away? Did you see any of this?
Well, obviously, The Rock he just came out of nowhere, didn't he? Mm-hmm. So he was just like, look, I'm going to be at SmackDown tomorrow night. Like, what the fuck is he doing, right? So everything in terms of my holiday that day froze for the Rock segment. Right. We had a plan. Mm. We were like, yeah, we're going to go on buggies. We're going to go over some volcanoes. We're going to go to the beach. I was like, we didn't do freaking anything until I've seen what the final boss has got to say. So I stayed at home when them lot went. I said, I'll catch you later. No, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yes, I caught what The Rock said, and I saw most of the stuff from SmackDown last Friday. Right, yeah. But obviously, The Rock was the biggest talking point. I mean, the difference he made to viewership on SmackDown was a madness.
I had to go back and actually watch the promo. So I watched the whole. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
When he showed up at Raw.
Yeah.
And. At first, I sort of watched it and I was like, what the hell? And then I watched it back again.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, okay, I kind of see the angle. I kind of don't see it. But then, like, I found it a bit weird.
Right, let's not shy away from it. It was weird. It was a weird segment. It was strange.
So wait, hang on. Are we judging it just based on the segment right now? That segment?
Everything. The angle, the segment, his purpose.
So the reason why I bring that up and I pose that question is because everybody said we got a bit of a flip-flop character with The Rock. So we didn't know whether we're getting The Rock, whether we're getting the final boss. And then obviously now they do the press conference afterwards and it's like, then we were getting Dwayne Johnson, who was sort of breaking all of the characters.
Yeah.
So everyone was kind of like, who are you? Or what are you doing?
These press conferences that they're doing. Yeah, I agree, mate. These press conferences that they're doing after shows now, like, I do think they need to figure them out a little bit because some people are shooting as if they are the real people. Yeah, so this is me. This is who I am. There's any character talking. This ain't kayfabe. This is just me.
But some people that is their character, like a CM Punk, for example.
Some people,
straight shooter.
Yes, that's just CM Punk, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So he is CM Punk no matter where he is, whether he's on the mic or whether he's at a press conference. But you're right. The Rock that was Dwayne Johnson, board member of TKO at the press conference.
Yeah.
So he was kind of talking in that aspect, and then on TV he's the final boss. So you're right. I mean, it's a flip flop.
And he was sort of going between being face and being heel.
Yeah.
Sort of having a bit of thing with the crowd and thing with Cody, but then also kind of being nice. So it was like, are you face? Are you heel? Like, what are you?
Being nice to who though?
Nobody knows. It's a bit of a weird one.
But I think that for me that is the final boss character that he wants to try and exude. It's like you don't know what's going to happen with him. He's unpredictable.
It's not the final boss that we got a year ago, though, is it?
No, well, the final boss was very much a heel, and they leaned into the fact that naturally everybody freaking hated the fact that he was taking Cody away. So they had that angle. But now, a year on, there's been rumblings that people ain't getting bored of Cody now. Cody needs to turn heel.
Yeah.
So you can't have The Rock go out there and be a complete and utter heel. He will still be the final boss regardless, but the fans are going to resonate with him more because he's been away for so long, and when he's been away for that long and he comes back, fans are going to love to see him. He makes the product so much better. I don't care what anybody says. He does, man.
No, he's great.
He does.
He's great. But I think I appreciated it a little bit more as time went on. Although I think he does need to work on that with the he needs to remember sometimes when he like in the arena that he's in. I guess because he's used to just being behind cameras most of the time, and you have the cut and the edit and all this sort of stuff. He's not like working with the live cameras, the live crowds and stuff like that. He hasn't been doing it every week like how he used to.
He wants Cody's soul.
It takes time.
He wants his soul.
Yeah, have you seen all the theories about this?
Been loads of theories, man.
There's been so many.
Is Cody Rhodes going to turn heel? Is he going to reject the Rock's offer? Because it's all going to lead into the chamber, isn't it? So he's saying he wants Cody to be his champion. But I do like the fact that they've fed back to the Raw After Mania segment from earlier this year. Yeah. Because he actually, remember he took his belt and he was like, "You are my champion. This kind of feels right. You are my champion." So they've fed back into that, which is good because we all thought that was pushed aside.
There's even a clip floating around of them 12 years ago. Did you see that?
No.
It was actually The Rock was champion 12 years ago. And then this is when was he dashing Cody Rhodes when he had the mustache?
Yes.
Yeah, he had the mustache and he gets in the ring and he's just sort of like, "I want that belt." And he goes, "For the next 13 years," which is kind of random, the thing.
That is random.
The next 13 years. So he goes, after you've stepped aside, he goes, "I don't want that championship synonymous with you," because everybody sees that championship, they think of you. He goes, "Well, I'm going to have that championship," and they're going to think of me.
That's mad. 13 years as well.
Yeah.
It's a random number to just throw out.
Yeah, it was like, it said 12 years ago. It said hashtag 12 years ago. Yeah. And in the promo, he actually says 13 years from now. And I was thinking, that's weirdly coincidental.
That's weird.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's such a fucking reach.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's weird when the things like that kind of come back. Creep back into it.
It's like that thing you posted the other day, like when they were planting seeds for the Bloodline story, like 12 years ago, when Paul Heyman and Brock and Roman had that backstage segment.
Yes, yeah.
Mad when you actually, if you go back and watch that now, it's like, it actually all makes sense. Yeah. All of it.
Do you reckon they kind of reverse engineer it when they write the stories, or do you reckon that they are just planting or like throwing stuff out there to basically be like, maybe we'll use this later on?
I mean, there's got to be some. I mean, especially with Triple H's creative these days, where he literally makes everything make sense. It's not like Vince shit, like where he just puts something on screen and then forgets about it a week later. He ties everything in. So the whole creative team must have to go back and feed back to what has been done previously and make sure it all ties in and makes sense. They must. They'll find little anecdotes and bring it all together. Yeah,
it is. I love those little Easter eggs that kind of pop up on social media. That's the best thing about social media, to be honest. Like, I'm not. Social media is a bit annoying at sometimes, at the most times, to be honest. But when it comes back to stuff like that, I love when people are going on the deep dives and finding stuff like that in the archives.
Yeah, and it's even better when it comes true.
Wicked stuff, man.
It all ties in. So, what do you think he's going to do, man?
Okay,
give me your view on it.
Do you want? I'm thinking about this maybe in terms of the larger story, right?
Yes.
I think that maybe in the future, we are going to get the story between Roman and The Rock, and I think this is a chess move with the whole thing. So, do you want to know what my theory is? Right?
Is it a rook or is it a pawn?
I don't know. I'll let you decide.
Is it a horse?
I'll let you decide.
Okay, go on.
So, I think that The Rock is going to somehow insert himself in this scenario.
Yep.
Cody is going to go heel.
This weekend at Chamber?
No, I'm not going to. I think he's going to go heel at Mania.
Down the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mania's not even really down the line when you think about it now.
That's not bad.
So I think that what's going to happen, and this is just me, I was just daydreaming about this after I saw the promo.
You're fantasy booking.
I'm fantasy booking right now.
Go on.
So what is going to happen is Cena's going to win the Chamber.
Yes.
He's going to face off against Cody.
Yep.
We're seeing kind of like the unwinding of Cody with his fight with Kevin Owens and kind of just being like a bit more heelish. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I think that this scenario with The Rock and The Rock saying he wants his soul and all that sort of stuff, that is basically the start of that all happening. And I think that is going to be the turn of Cody turning heel.
Right.
And I reckon that sorry, not Cena's going to win. CM Punk was what I was going to say. CM Punk is going to win.
CM Punk's going to win the Chamber.
CM Punk is going to win the Chamber. And he was my choice last week.
That's bold, AJ, man.
And the reason why I say that's going to happen is
go on,
because The Rock is going to be in Cody's corner in some shape or form. I don't know if he's physically going to be there. He's going to have some sort of aura or some way he's going to impose himself on the match.
On the Elimination Chamber match?
Nope, on the match when it gets to Mania.
Okay.
So once it's CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, right?
Right.
And what's going to end up happening is CM Punk is going to call in his favor with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that favor is knocking about still.
And that favor is going to have something to do with Roman Reigns. And that is going to cause a rift between The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Okay, that's interesting. Booking.
And that will set up the future story for The Rock versus Roman.
I mean, that's very good. Extremely good.
That's
idea.
my theory.
When did you come up with that? Were you having a poo last night or something and just thought, I've got to spare 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's good though. Yeah. That's good because obviously right now the way I look at obviously Chamber this weekend, right?
Yep.
So the men's Chamber, you're 100% right. The men's Chamber, who we got? We've got CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. Realistically, but then again, we had a similar conversation about the Rumble. So realistically, those are the guys that are going to win, and then fucking Jey Uso ends up winning.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, now we don't have 30 guys to pick from.
No, there's 6, and you're right. I mean, for me, everybody is on the John Cena train for this match, right?
So JD chose Cena because I had the first pick. So we done a rock paper scissors. I got Cena. I got CM Punk.
He got Cena.
He got Cena.
Okay, fine.
And then we also done the women's. We'll talk about that.
I still think Logan Paul is going to win the Elimination Chamber match.
Okay.
He is going to fight Cody, and then The Rock will be in Logan Paul's corner, and Logan Paul will be The Rock's champion.
Damn.
Wow! Imagine if that happens. But
the Prime Championship.
So, man, that's a marketing train right there. Jesus Christ, man. That's all kinds of merchandise.
Prime belts for little teenagers.
Right, the merch sales on that will go through the roof with Prime.
Terrible.
But yeah, mate, it could happen. But then where does that leave Cena if he's not involved in any shape or form?
I don't know. I think Cena's got something down the line. It doesn't really have to happen right now, to be honest.
So either, realistically here, either Cody or Cena will be turning heel. One of them two. It's got to happen.
I think this whole thing with The Rock is gonna, now that I'm seeing that they've gone with this kind of angle, it looks like they're leaning towards Cody.
Yeah. Well, The Rock said in that press conference afterwards, it was like, it doesn't have to culminate in a match. So I think they're planting seeds in The Rock versus Cody I'm talking about.
Yep.
So I reckon he's planting seeds for, look, me and Cody ain't going to have a match. It's never going to happen. But this storyline, as you've said, will maybe culminate into something bigger. The Rock versus Reigns is the money match, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the money match.
That's where the eyes are.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm pissed off with every fucker from last year who saying, we want Cody, we want Cody to finish. Mate, I hated all of it. At the time, I wanted The Rock versus Reigns. I didn't really want Cody versus Reigns. I wanted The Rock versus Reigns. And now a year later, everyone's clamoring for The Rock versus Reigns. And there's a chance we might not get it. I'm fuming. And we all want to take the title off of Cody now. We're like, no, we're done with Cody. I'm fuming.
I think this has maybe given a second bit of interest to the Cody hype train, to be fair, because I think it was getting a little bit stale. You know, people were saying his promos between every match after that were pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Where they were doing like, he's the whole, respectful champion. Oh, I respect you, but I'm gonna do what I have to do. Everyone was just like, you basically just do the same thing with each guy, and like now
move on.
We're seeing a little bit of something more.
That's it, man. I'm very much strapped in, ready for the ride, man.
Have you got a pick for the women's?
The women's, I was going to come to that. So we got Morgan, Belair, Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Perez.
Hold on, actually, I guess I don't know if now you think this is going to impact it, but you also saw the match on Raw, right?
Monday night?
Yeah.
I didn't. I was flying back Monday night, so I haven't even...
That was a wicked match.
I heard... Hang on, I think I've got some...
The women's tag
the women's tag titles, yes. There's new champions, isn't there?
We have new champions.
Morgan and Rodriguez. Got them back.
Yep. They said, what, they were three-time champs?
Yeah. Those titles only switched. But maybe this is a... I suppose the significance of that would be perhaps they're making room now for Jade to come in.
That's exactly what. So I chose Bianca.
Yeah,
Bianca's going to win, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that's going to set up the story between.
Well, there's been backstage.
Jade.
There's been backstage talk that she's expected to come back possibly this weekend.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she can make her return as soon as that. That's actually been noted.
Okay.
She's been off since November. So that will have an impact. And then maybe they'll do Jade against Bianca at Mania or something like that.
Yeah.
Perhaps she'll come in and be like, oh, Naomi took my place, Wade, Simon Hell, that kind of crap.
Yeah.
But I think that would be good for Jade. And if she gets a clean win over Bianca, that'll propel her to new heights, to new things, man.
You want to see it.
But yeah, my pick...
I can't remember. Who was JD's pick? JD picked as well. Who else is in it?
I think Alexa Bliss.
Give me the rundown.
We've got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, I think JD went with Roxanne Perez.
So it'll be Roxanne Perez against Rhea Ripley. Or Io Sky for the Women's World Championship.
Yeah, I think last week I was saying it could be, not last week, I think 2 weeks ago, I was saying it looks like it was going to be Io Sky.
Io Sky. Yeah.
I think that she's a good worker as well.
But then where will they go with Rhea?
She's a good worker.
There's options there. But the match I'm actually looking forward to the most, though, this weekend is actually Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn. That match is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Unsanctioned.
We talked about that.
Mate, those guys have had so many matches now, and they've all been, like, insane. And now they're unsanctioned. They've now got to take it up even another level. Yeah. I think one of them might die, man. We might see our first death on WWE TV, mate.
Oh, damn.
Sammy will throw Kevin Owens off of the...
into moving traffic.
Yeah. It's unsanctioned.
Yeah, they said on... when they were promoing it on Raw, Michael Cole said, the ref is only there to administer the pin or submission. And that was pretty much it.
Probably, I reckon Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will go down in WWE history, in the WWE timeline, as probably the most intense, well, not intense, but the best long-term feud there's ever been. Because, I mean, they've been feuding since NXT.
Since before they were in the company, yeah. Me and JD were saying, yeah.
They
kind of...
all the indies,
used all that,
came through it together.
They've used all that... prior history, and I like the way that even the way WWE has been using the footage from them before, you know, like kind of showing them coming up in developmental together and all that sort of stuff.
And they always put on good matches, man. It's just a match you can always go back to, and it's going to be reliable, isn't it? Ultimately.
That's what I was saying. If you probably would have told me that 6 months ago they're going to be doing that match again, I'll be like, oh, really? But when you see the promos, when you kind of see like the back and forth between them, it works.
It does, man. Always.
Works well.
They just, they gel together, man. They're perfect. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. That's going to be a big one. But yeah, man, an interesting chamber. A lot more stacked than the previous elimination chambers have been. Yeah, looking forward to that, man. It's going to be good. Anything else you're taking away from the weekend? Anything you want to particularly discuss?
The only other thing that I'd say other than that, Penta has literally been...
What's he been up to, man?
Workhorse, man.
Did he have another match?
Yeah. He had a triple threat match against Ludwig and our guy, Bruiserweight.
Pete Dunne.
Yeah. Pete Dunne.
Good. Two good guys to work with, to be fair.
Yeah, and he looked good.
Fit in ring. Did he win?
Yeah.
Of course he did. Clean.
Actually, I can't even remember. How it literally ended, but...
I can imagine it would have been a clean pin for him on one of them. Probably on Ludwig, maybe. To be fair, either of them, you know, to get a pin against. They're slowly building Penta, aren't they? Just slowly, man.
But, What's his partner called again? I can't even remember. Is it Phoenix?
Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, everyone's saying they're like he's just sitting on the sideline just watching Penta have bangers of them.
So it wasn't Penta didn't win.
It was Ludwig, wasn't
Ludwig
it?
Secured a big win in a triple threat match against Penta and Pete.
He was. Sorry, I do remember the finish now. He threw Penta out of the ring the last minute and just gave him a roll up, and then rolled up
cheap roll up.
Rolled up Pete Dunne, and then that was the end of the match. So.
Cheap roll up. Did you see the Hardys back on NXT? The Hardy Boys?
Yes.
Coming in with their TNA championship belts.
I've been seeing their promos.
I can't believe those guys are still rolling, man.
They still look good as well.
Mate, I cannot. Like, Matt Hardy looks like he's got a busted up hip.
Yeah.
But Jeff Hardy, mate, he doesn't look like he skipped a beat, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's mad. Like, I remember watching that TLC triple threat match back in the day between the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. How long ago was that? That was like, what, 2002?
His
2001?
He can still move in the ring, but his swanton bombs look heavy now.
Oh no, mate. Oh,
They look heavy. They look impactful. It looks like he's not even trying to brace or like trying to get like roll with it now.
No, man.
He's just like, I'm old enough. He's like, just take the weight.
Take the weight, yeah. Just brace yourself. It's good to see him back though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always good to see the Hardys, man.
Saw them on. He saw Jeff on Chris Van Vliet as well, where he was sort of saying that he's been. They offered, or there were talks of him. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? And he was pretty much just like, I can't go back until I can't go back if they're not going to bring me in with Matt. And obviously they wouldn't have at the time because they didn't have the agreement with TNA and all that sort of stuff. Now
it's a lot easier now.
It's easier now, yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, to me, they do deserve a spot.
100%.
I mean, if the Dudleys are in,
100%,
you got to put the Hardys in, man. It just kind of just makes sense, doesn't it? But it sounds like they're also probably going to have a run on the main roster if it goes well. They're going to have one more run.
Yeah, it looks that way. Looks like they're kind of building up for it.
Yeah, man, it'd be good to see them.
And there's some fun stuff happening on the tag team division at the moment as well.
On the main roster.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of bits and pieces going on. There was obviously the Motor City Machine Guns are still knocking about, just performing well.
Street Profits are still going heel. They're still attacking a couple guys after the match. I think that's probably going to be I think they're going to do some sort of triple threat at WrestleMania, I think.
They need to step up the New Day train, I think, man.
Yes.
Step up the New Day train. I want to see some more from them now. Like, they're obviously doing their good stuff on the mic. They attacked Rey Mysterio randomly, I think, a couple of weeks ago after the show. Like, they're doing all that stuff. But I want to see some more from them now in ring.
Yeah.
They're doing good as bad guys, don't get me wrong, but yeah, a bit more is required. But yeah, mate, look, all sorts going into Mania season, mate. We'll see what happens, man. It always ramps up a little bit around this time of year. Question for you though, right? Just before we wrap up.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, who do you think is the greatest crossover star between WWE and UFC there's been?
Crossover star.
Crossover. So somebody who's either crossed one way or the other. Who do you think has been the best? Do you want me to give you some examples?
Immediately in my mind, just thinking of accolades and also name value.
Yeah.
I would probably say, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, like he had a title run, even though heavyweight wasn't the greatest at the time.
Yeah.
He came on the scene. He got, essentially quickly thrown up in the rankings to get a shot. Held the belt, defended the belt.
Yeah.
And he's had a pretty decent long career in WWE as well. Also at the top, he's never ever like drifted down towards the mid card. He's either been a top drawer or nothing at all, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I would probably say he is in terms of between both brands and the sports. Obviously The Rock, in terms of just general appeal, in terms of doing stuff outside of TKO, that he'll be the name. But I don't know who else would.
But The Rock never competed in a cage.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about actual
We're just talking
fighters.
between the.
Yeah. I mean, Brock's like his physical dominance and just his overall look.
So how many can we name altogether? Realistically, it's going to be between Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey's the other one.
Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Ken Shamrock.
Huge, mate. To be fair, he was one of the first. Yeah. He did really well in MMA, didn't he? I think at the time.
Ken Shamrock, yeah. Well, he was a lot before my time. I've seen him fight.
Mate, Ken Shamrock. I remember when he came in
my time
in the Attitude Era.
I was still fighting in shoes back then.
Yeah,
in UFC.
But he was one of the first UFC stars to make the transition to WWE. To be fair, he actually paved the way for it. Really,
pretty much. He's the pioneer of it.
Yeah, his MMA background. He had a very unique, hard hitting style.
Yeah,
and I suppose then when he brought that to the WWE, his in ring kind of reflected all of his cage fighting, which is really good. So yeah, there's Ken. But then he go back to MMA as well. Ken Shamrock.
He went back. He went back at one point. Yeah, he was kind of well, he was definitely past his prime at that point.
Yeah.
But he went to another promotion afterwards. I think they were competing with the UFC. And
I just remember, like, charisma-wise, he just wasn't the best man on the mic.
Nah, he was just a guy who looked super imposing.
He looked imposing.
He was obviously held up by his accolades of like he's the MMA guy.
Yeah, he's like legit. He will legit kick your butt.
Yeah.
He's got Matt Riddle.
Yep.
You know,
CM Punk, unfortunately.
Poor. He tried.
He gave it a go, so I respect him.
Cain Velasquez,
yeah.
He had one match, man.
Yeah, they built him up. Obviously, he showed up. He beat up.
He turned up on the SmackDown debut on Fox.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it was.
He actually looked pretty good, didn't he? They built him up to look.
Do you remember it was a Saudi card, wasn't it? It was Tyson Fury against Braun Strowman.
Yes,
and Cain Velasquez against Brock Lesnar. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That was never going to be a long-term thing.
He had his legal issues after that.
Yeah.
So obviously, with him with the case. So. And
he had persistent injuries as well, I think. He wasn't the most reliable. Marina Shafir. Her alliances with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Marina Shafir. Shafir. She has an MMA background. Perhaps she wasn't UFC.
Maybe.
But she got into a little stable with Ronda and Shayna. But yeah, mate, they're probably the main ones. But I obviously Shayna Baszler, you know.
Yeah.
You know, she had found success in both. But I think in terms of overall success in both companies, is going to be out of Ronda Rousey and Brock. I think Ronda Rousey is probably a close second if you actually look at, because CM Punk is obviously the big one, but he was just shit in UFC, didn't make an impact.
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey made an initial. Obviously, she had a huge impact in UFC, but then when she came into WWE, she made a huge impact there as well.
She did make an impact. The fans just didn't.
They just fell out of love with her, man.
Yeah,
so she just lost the fans.
She didn't know how to kind of ride the wave, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She took everything that the fans were doing. It was very personal. She seemed someone who's very emotional. She doesn't get the thing of she's like, why are they going to boo me for?
Yeah.
You know?
But I also think that WWE are a bit to blame with that, because they could have heavily leaned into that if they wanted to.
Yeah.
The fans are booing. So Ronda, go out and tell them how you feel. I just don't think she wanted to. I don't think she had it in her to be a mad heel. I think, like you said, she took it too personally. She was afraid to get on the mic and lean into it more.
Yeah,
you know,
she was always a character. Even when she was in UFC, she was a bit prickly on the mic when she'd been interviewed and stuff like that. There's clips online like when people, an interviewer asks her a stupid question and she says something really abrasive. I just don't. Yeah, I don't think she was used to it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think she could handle being a heel, if that makes sense. She couldn't handle being hated.
Exactly that. Yeah. She's a bit too emotional about it. But yeah, I think you're right there, man. I was going to say Brock as well. I think when you look at success on both sides, what he did in UFC, albeit he got sick, but he carried heavyweight for a while. Yeah. And then when he WWE on both sides of his UFC career, he then went back to have a fight. Then he had a cage fight against Hunt. Was it Mark Hunt?
Yep.
Won that, came back to WWE, and then he carried WWE.
He's UFC 200 and 100, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember watching both. And the mainstream appeal he brought to both brands. And then obviously he beat Taker Streak, carried the belt, put some serious stars over. He's now got Cody over, he's got Reigns over. Yeah,
he's a multi-time champion.
Multi-time champ.
Yeah,
you got to respect that. So we're both agreeing on Brock.
Brock is definitely the top pick.
Top pick for the most successful crossover UFC WWE stuff.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. In terms of the roster, if you had to pick one person who you think would be able to go over and actually, maybe just in terms of athleticism or maybe just aggression, who would you like to see? Who you reckon could have some sort of give MMA a go if they, or maybe it could be even someone who has a fighting background, maybe someone who has a wrestling background. We talked about
on the WWE roster you're talking about, right?
Yeah, obviously he's not with them anymore, but we talked about was it Gable, Chad Gable. He had the offer to go to WWE or UFC, and he obviously chose
technically sound. you just got to look at who are good wrestlers, who are ring generals. Like you look at someone like Gunther, but I just don't think he's got. I mean, he's just a good wrestler, not necessarily a cage fighter. Mate, that's a good question, man. Who could you pinpoint? I'd probably need to look down at NXT for something like that.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you, because obviously when they come up to the main roster, they're more, their personalities are shown off a bit more rather than in ring right now.
Yeah, even the wrestling style normally changes for a lot of people when they come from NXT to.
And a lot of them are high flyers.
Do you think?
Mate, I couldn't. Do you know what? I wouldn't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe a Braun Breaker. I could see him being a cage fighter, man. Just a badass dude, mate. Just get him in there. If he just learned some things.
Absolute beast of a man.
Yes, he is, mate. Yeah. But yeah, or maybe Logan Paul. Put Logan Paul in the cage, man.
Well, his brother is supposed to be having his debut at some point. But, we'll see how that goes.
Mate, if Logan Paul wins the Elimination Chamber this weekend, we're going to celebrate next week.
Oh, man.
Can't wait for that to happen. Oh, wow. Okay. But yeah, mate, serious weekend coming up. I think we're going to, the landscape for Mania will be presented in a much clearer light, I think, after the weekend. Looking forward to it. Were you going to watch it? You're going to watch it at home?
Yes. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Mania. Sorry, not Mania. Elimination Chamber is this weekend.
Yeah, buddy. Saturday night.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Mania. Sorry, no, I keep saying Mania. Elimination Chamber this weekend, and then the following weekend is 3/13.
That's it, man. Some good TKO action coming up.
Some back to back
on the way.
Entertainment.
Hopefully, James Dean will be back with us next week.
You better be.
Yeah, man. Should we give him a round of applause?
That's it.
That's our small bit of encouragement to bring him back to the table. Is there anything you want to close on, AJ? Anything you want to throw at me?
No, I'm all good.
Don't worry, I'm back. Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, you haven't got another holiday booked, have you?
No, the next holiday is with you, my friend. Las Vegas. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Join us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Our latest episode will be up there very shortly. Subscribe to us on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. I'm signing out. Big weekend. J-Dog, we'll see you next week. AJ.
Love to all the listeners.
Goodbye.